Hey yo, it's your boy, Skinny Penis. Oh shit, we're going. Cut that out. I'm sorry.
All right, welcome back to Off a Tangent Podcast. As you can see, I actually got the sticker on this time. This is my friend Josie. He's going to be on the podcast today. He is a wedding videographer and just video entrepreneur in general. Yep. All kinds of video projects. And also, he plays soccer.
Yeah.
So, as you can tell by his beautiful jersey.
I just got done playing.
Oh, that's what you're doing? Yeah. Did you win?
No, we're just kicking the ball around. Oh,
yeah. All right. Kicking the old pigskin around.
It's not a pigskin.
No,
but...
that's football. Do they make pigskin soccer balls?
That would hurt my foot if I'd be kicking that all day long.
Oh my gosh. Is basketball a pigskin too?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. That's why it's called Off a Tangent, because we go off a tangent. We're actually sitting here at the community college, not too far from our houses here in San Antonio, Texas. This is Northwest Vista. As you can see by the wonderful lake behind us, this is Northwest Vista Lake. And it looks really great at night, so we decided we would do it here. Also, nothing else was unlocked, so we were forced to do it here.
Yeah, we looked around the whole campus. Every single door was just straight up just locked.
Except one of them was green and unlocked, and this guy was saying
we saw somebody
go into
it, and we ran, and then it's locked. And the old man was all like, "It just opened."
Yeah, it's like
why isn't it open for us, dude?
Yeah. So, but it's all right. It's a good view. It looks nice out here. It feels nice out here. Not too bad. So, perfect for a podcast, I guess. I mean, it's more about the conversation than where we do it anyway. So. I don't know why my voice is sounding so raspy today. It doesn't usually sound like this, but I kind of like it. It sounds kind of cool. I might put out a metal album.
Manly. Oh, I just voice cracked and I tried to say manly. I was going to say manly, but it went manly.
Oh shit. Perfect timing. Perfect word to do that on, too.
No, it's not a perfect word.
So, we've known each other since freaking high school, dude.
Yeah.
All the way back then. Me, you, and Antonio knew each other all in high school. Mm-hmm. That was crazy, and we were all doing camera work. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit differently. And I always remember you playing soccer, too. You played at Brennan soccer, right?
Yeah.
They had a team?
At Brennan, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I played junior varsity my junior year, and then senior year is when I actually made like the varsity team, and
okay,
it was really fun.
Did you guys? Do they do the same like football? Like, that you guys go do like tournaments against the other school?
Yeah, so we did like pretty much like preseason, which is like we go against like other teams and see how well we do against them, and then we go against like the schools in our district, which is like Stevens, Jay, Taft, all
Brandeis in ours.
Brandeis, yeah, Brandeis, and it was fun. I liked it.
Was Brennan a good team?
Were we a good team? Like that year?
Yeah.
We had some pretty like stacked people. Like we had really good people. Everybody on that team was like really good, except I don't know why we didn't make it to playoffs.
You didn't make the playoffs?
No, we didn't, sadly. But high school soccer, I was bad at it. Like I wasn't good at all. I made the team, and I knew like footwork and everything, and like the fundamentals of soccer, but I just wasn't like as good as everybody else. And then that's when I took it to my own hands when I played. So I played some like pickup games here and there. Here at Vista, actually. So here. And then I also played at Texas State for their soccer team.
Okay.
But it was more of like intramural soccer, kind of like club team.
Yeah.
And that's when I pretty much got more aware of the game, and now I'm a whole lot better than I was in high school.
I have like specific memories. Like I can remember you like just juggling your soccer ball in the hallway.
Yeah.
Or like just at lunch or whatever, just juggling it. Dunk, 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 dunk. I'm like, dang, this guy's
or I would sit with because like I'm still cool with the band guys.
Yeah.
I would sit with the drum line, and we would always we'd play Smash Bros. Like out in the open. It's like
You guys would bring consoles and play Smash Bros?
We brought we brought a laptop, and then we had it connected to HDMI to a TV, and then we hooked up the TV to the wall. And luckily, we're near the pillar.
Oh yeah.
Table. We played it on the TV, or we would just play it off the laptop, and we'd have our GameCube controllers like underneath like this, and we'd be playing.
Oh.
That's pretty much how we all.
That's crazy.
Melee, yeah.
Jeez, in school.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. I remember them doing Smash Bros. Tournaments like at lunch in the library. They would bust out the projector like once a month or something.
Yeah,
that was
that was for Smash 4. I didn't like that game because that game was it's dookie. I didn't like it. That's
the other thing. You're like a pro Smash player in Texas.
Yeah,
right?
I play Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah.
And, played for like 6 years now. And I got into it in high school. I started playing competitively whenever I got here. And here they actually had tournaments.
Yeah.
And over here I was ranked, I think 3rd overall.
Oh, wow.
But that's when I was like really getting into it.
Yeah.
And then I played my junior year over at Texas State. And I was part of their Melee team. And I was ranked 5th over there. But over there, like, the competition was, like, a lot harder.
Really?
And I would play that game so much.
Were you good instantly, or did you have to practice?
I had to practice.
No. Yep.
Everybody would destroy me. Basically, why I wanted to get better was because my friends would beat me, which would be the friends back home, which is, Kevin, David, Osman, Little Brandon, all of them, they would just destroy me. So
Dom handed it to you too.
He did.
He put the whooping on you.
I was like, dude, I'm tired of these guys fucking clowning on me. So then I practiced like every day, and then I got better, came back, and then they saw improvement. So that's what I like doing.
So I remember you telling me like, when you were going against Dom, you're like, I didn't have my characters. I couldn't play my characters, so I had to pick my like third.
No,
best.
that was recently. So I played against Big Dom, and we played at Isaiah's apartment, and we were playing on his Switch.
Isaiah
Lopez.
Okay.
Yeah. We played on his Switch, and he just had the Joy-Con, so I didn't have my controller. And then he didn't have all the characters unlocked, so I couldn't play with my character, which is Pyramithra. Yeah. And then I think we're down to like last stock, and it was like last hit. Yeah. And it was just like so intense, and then like he finally got the hit, and then I was like, "Fuck, dude!"
So what are your top characters that you didn't get to use?
Just that one. I don't. He didn't have Pyramithra, so I couldn't use them, and yeah. And
are those like downloadable characters, or they
like DLC? Yeah, you can buy them.
Okay, so they don't just come straight. Those are the ones you. Okay, no wonder you didn't have them then. I was like, wait, how do you have the character? What happened?
You gotta buy them. It's like 2 different packs. You gotta buy. They're like both like $30 each.
So do they take characters from other universes too?
It's like other games. So
yeah, that's what yeah.
You know, they had like the original like Nintendo cast, which is Pikachu, Mario, Link, and then they also have who else do they have? They have Sonic, which is from Sega, and then now they have people like people from like the Nintendo 64, which is like Banjo and Kazooie, which is like the bear and the little bird that comes out the backpack. Yeah, they got that now.
Like in Mortal Kombat, they have like they sometimes they'll do like DC characters, like they did Mortal Kombat versus DC, or they did Freddy Krueger was in it. And,
I remember that.
It did all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's
same thing with I don't know if you ever played Soul Calibur?
I've never even heard of that.
You never heard of? Oh, it's pretty much like that game, but it's
just like a one-on-one fighting thing.
Like one-on-one fighting. It's just like 2D fighting, which is like you gotta know the combos. Yeah. But they added like the Apprentice and Yoda and Darth Vader.
Oh wow!
And you can fight as them, and
that's crazy.
It's pretty funny because you're like little Yoda, but like everybody else is like this tall, and like Yoda is just like this. He just goes like. He just runs at you. So I'm like,
you ever play Street Fighter?
No, I have, but I wasn't really good at it.
My dad's like a pro at Street Fighter. He whoops everybody all the time.
Pretty sure he can
It's
kick my ass.
ridiculous, dude. He'll be playing online and like he'll just start whooping people, and then like nobody will want to play him, so he'll just be sitting there alone. Like anybody want to play me? And eventually someone will come in, and then they'll read his gamer tag, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm leaving. I'm out." Like this is a death sentence. Absolutely no way.
Oh, shoot, man.
Okay, so what about me?
How did you basically? Why did you want to start doing podcasts and video edits, and what's your pretty much your motivation on all
Okay,
that?
so I very first got introduced to cameras by my friend Nate, and he went to the same church as me when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like this giant of a man. He's like 6'5". He's extremely skinny. He's got this amazing beard, and he just had a love for cinema. And he would always make all these crazy documentaries and these super cool films. Most of them were like Christian based,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool. And it's like all kinds of cool. And he was on the Ellen Show for a little bit doing background and stuff like that. And so I got pretty close to him, but I was young. Like I was like 12 or 13, kind of like really young, like 11, 12, 13, 14, that area. So I didn't really like understand like what a passion was, like something that you would do for the rest of your life. And I didn't really like grasp like what a camera was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, oh, like I've seen a camera, like I know that it takes pictures, like I know that it films, like whatever. But I wasn't like, and I knew that I liked it more than the other things, but I didn't know what that meant. Like I was just like, oh, like this feels good to hold this. Like this feels like easier than other things that I've done. And so I just kind of like,
it slowly started to come.
Yeah,
you.
but my mom knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knew what that meant, so she kept like getting like drop me off to hang out with him and setting stuff up, because I was a kid. Like I didn't really, And then in high school, I went to a different high school. I went to Reagan, which is all the way up in Stone Oak. It's NEISD. Before I went to Brennan, and there they had an actual film class called short film. And so I took that. My mom was like, you should take this class because whatever. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, I'll take it. And I took it, and I was like, okay. Then that's when I really started understanding, like, okay, I like the camera. Like, this is what I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I wasn't like, because it was a film class, and I was like I like this, but this isn't like...
Yeah, like you see something else that's...
Not full yet. Like, this isn't fully...
Like, it's there, but it's not really there. And it's in that field.
Yeah. And then at Brennan, I took digital media. And that's where I learned all the fundamentals of photography. Leading lines, contrast, horizon, like composition, and rule of thirds, and all that stuff.
Totally.
And I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like, this is just easy. Like, this is making sense. Like, I know what I'm doing.
Like, now something's like popped in your head.
Yeah. And that's when I started learning about photography more than film.
Okay.
I was like, okay, so this is something I can get. Like, this is more my speed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew that I liked the camera, and I knew that I wanted to do something with it, but I knew that film wasn't, like, it. So then I got photography. I was like, okay, cool. And then my senior year, my mom forced me into yearbook. I was a senior in school. Like, I thought I knew everything. I was just being ridiculous. Like, I was like, I just want to get through the year. Like, I want to be done with school. Like, I just want to have off blocks, and I just want to just do the least that I possibly can.
Totally,
you need to take something, learn something. So she forced me into guitar, and she forced me into yearbook. I hated guitar, absolutely couldn't do it. That's my brother. My brother's musical, 100%. So that was him. You guys know too. He was on the podcast. I'm not the musical one, but I loved the yearbook.
Yeah.
And that's when I started learning about portraits, like shooting people.
Mm-hmm.
Because in digital media, I just learned about how to take a picture, and then she would send us out to go take pictures of just whatever, like objects or whatever.
And objects and
Yearbook, we had goals of what to take pictures of people. And we got to practice on each other and do that kind of thing.
Like what to capture, and like there's like a subject instead of you just going out there and just filming whatever. Yeah. I'm sorry, taking pictures of whatever.
Yeah. And also, I had a teacher that she didn't really care very much to like follow like exactly what we were supposed to be doing.
Do you want to state her name or no?
Yeah, her name was Miss Graybeal.
Who?
Miss Graybeal.
Never had her. Never seen her.
She has short silver hair and like cat eye glasses.
Sorry.
But I think she doesn't work there anymore. Anyways, she didn't really care very much, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying she didn't care about us. That's not what I'm saying, Miss Gabriel. I'm just saying, like, she just, like, was lax with the rules, which was fine because
she was just was it more by the book and not really
less by the book.
Less by the book?
It was just like she just put the camera in our hands and let us do what we wanted with it. It wasn't like, oh, you got to take this picture specifically in this way.
Okay.
It was just like, take this camera, take the pictures.
Come back and I'll tell you if it's good or not.
We'll look through everything. And that was really helpful because it was like, I got to learn what my own style was, and I got to learn, like, how to shoot people, really.
Yeah.
And that was really, really eye-opening for me. And at the same time, Antonio was doing the same thing. He was in digital media with me. He didn't do yearbook, but he did do digital media. And then after high school, like, people started telling me I was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I should keep doing this. And I was like, okay. All right. And so I kept doing it. And then
you're getting feedback and stuff. It makes you feel good, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have an uncle. He's still alive. Not have. And he lives in Arizona. He came to visit us one time, and I was like grinding on my photography, grinding and getting gigs and stuff. And so, but I didn't really have a camera. Like, I had I was using my phone or like borrowing my mom's like crappy Nikon, like from like 2005.
But at least you're getting experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he blessed me with some money to buy my own camera.
Okay.
Before he went back, because he saw that I was doing well and that I was, like, actually passionate about it. And so I bought my first camera, and then boom, from there I was like,
What was your first camera?
Canon Rebel T6i.
Solid first camera.
Yep. If you're going to start out with camera work, Rebels are always a great start.
Yeah.
Great start to go.
I took the challenging part, and I took it upon myself, and I just wanted a Sony.
So the camera you have was the first one you've ever had?
First
That's the
ever,
only one? Wow.
Yeah.
So you just went full four. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. And then...
I bought it with SeaWorld money.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that, after a few years of doing gigs and stuff, I went into that kind of stuff. I went to SeaWorld and I started doing photography with the dolphins. I was in the dolphin tank taking pictures of the dolphins.
Really? I did photography, but with fucking...
At the front.
Elmo and Big Bird.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing Sesame Street, dude.
Do you remember when all the guys from high school wear those Sesame Street characters? That whole, like, base gang or whatever they call themselves? That was crazy, dude. Like Matt and Jesse and all them.
He's like, what's up, man?
I don't know.
But it would just be like a big, like Oscar Grosh just telling me hi. I was like, I know that voice. I was like, it's me. I was like, I don't know who you are. You're still Oscar in there. And so I was like, you know me? I was like, oh. But there's like a little kid that's like waiting in line. I was like, okay, like, you can come in.
Yeah, I don't know how they pulled that off, but that was pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. And then, so that's how I got into photography. And then for the podcast, I just I don't know, I just had a lot of stuff that, like, I would just think about stuff in my mind, like, oh, like, I just figured this out, or I just learned this, or whatever. And I was like, I would like to tell to somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like I would just hear like my friends would say stuff, and I'd be like, dude, this could help people. Like, other people, like, I know that people struggle with this, or I know that people like have questions about this kind of thing, or whatever. So I was like, dude, how can I like put all these things to where more people can see it? And so this was right when podcasts were becoming really big. Like when Joe Rogan was getting big, and then Logan Paul did his podcast, and like everybody just started doing podcasts. And right then I was like, oh, everybody's doing this now. Great. I should have jumped on this a little earlier. But then I still did it anyways. I was like, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways because I like it. And then I just started going, and I went hard, and I loved it. And I just met a lot of cool people. It was really good for social interaction too, because like not being in school anymore, like college or high school, you just don't have very much social interaction anymore. Like, you don't meet people very much. So it was a good way to have social interaction. And so I started going, and now here I am, 35 episodes later, a year and a half in. Almost 2 years now, actually. I think in a couple months I'll be 2 years into this.
Nice.
Yeah, but I've had several breaks, you know. I've had COVID, I got in a car accident, all kinds of stuff has happened.
Things happen, like so many bumps in the road can happen, but you still gotta grind it out.
I'm trying to learn right now how to put it on like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and stuff like that, so people can listen to it that way, instead of only being on YouTube. But like a lot of it's behind a paywall. They're like, okay, like you got 3 gigs that you can upload to these things, then you got to pay like $25 more a month, then you can have
and
6
then
gigs.
I saw you also uploaded the audio part to SoundCloud, correct?
Yeah, I uploaded a few of them, but they uploaded like out of order and like it skipped some of them, and it was being all weird. So I stopped doing it that way, and then I got to refigure it out. And plus, I rebranded to Off a Tangent. It used to be the Real Life podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
But I changed it to Off a Tangent. I used to have this whole set in my room, but I didn't feel really like I didn't like it very much. Like I was like, I mean, I liked it, but it was just like it didn't feel like.
I think, like, personally, like, from my view on it,
Yeah.
I feel like the podcast was focused on you personally, like the first one,
Yeah.
the first brand, because
Yeah.
it had your silhouette in it, and then it had real podcast, but it didn't feel like something was like pulling apart from your photography. Like it still felt like it was like in like the photography realm.
Yeah.
When you kind of want to break those two apart and make them like two different subjects. So I do like agree on changing the name.
That's exactly what I wanted to do, because I called it the Real Life Podcast, and my photography company is Real Life Creations.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but you can see how there's not really like a difference between.
Yeah, and I was like,
name,
and I was also thinking like, well, this isn't a photography podcast. Like we don't only talk about photography. Like I want to have all kinds of people on, and I have. Yeah. So I was like, I need to change that. Like I don't want people to not listen to it thinking it's a photography podcast.
Yeah.
And so I changed it, and I like it. And also, like, one of the things I've been learning is about, like, one of the reasons I took down the set and all that stuff is, like, because I don't care. So, like, I've been realizing, like, I shouldn't care so much about where I'm doing it and, like, the whole set and, like, it's looking perfect and all this stuff. Like, the best part of the podcast is the conversation. Like, it has nothing to do with where it's at. Like, we could literally do it in a car if the conversation is good.
Yeah,
it's good.
like Steve-O does it in a
Steve-O's
van.
Wild Ride, yeah. He changed it since. He's done it in an RV now. But yeah, he was doing it in his van thing. That was pretty cool. But he was saying like he spent so much on gas and stuff. And also he had like nowhere to drive around, so he's like driving in circles. It's like, it's ridiculous. But it's a good idea. Mm-hmm. It just has to be executed a little more. Especially because he lives in California. You can't just be driving around in California like that. What's going on here? What are we doing? But yeah, so that's how everything came about, and that's how we are where we are now. So it's pretty cool.
Story, man.
So you do soccer and video.
Yeah.
And you dabble in photography, but it's not your specialty. Kind of the reverse of me.
Bit, yeah. Like if somebody wants to take a picture, like okay, let me just. And there you go. Like, that's it.
Like the reverse of me. Like, I do photo, but if someone wants video, I can do it.
Yeah. And, like, the way that All right, so here's my story on how I got into videography. So, I remember it as when I was at one of my cousin's weddings. This was when I was, like, 7 or 8, and they had those cameras where you would click it, and then you would have to do
the film camera?
click it again,
Yeah.
It was the ones that you buy like Walgreens.
Disposable.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I was just like taking pictures.
Disposable Kodak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be taking pictures of them, and I was like, this is cool. Like you can capture stuff and look back at it and tell a story with it.
Yeah.
But that was just like with photography.
Yeah.
And then Christmas came along, and we would always have Christmas at my uncle's house, and my cousin, she had the new iPod Nano with the small little fucking camera on it.
Oh yeah.
So you would just press it and be recording, and she would like record it. And she was telling me all about it. She's like, you can record, but only for like 20 minutes, and then like the whole iPod would die. And I was like, I don't care. I want to get into that because that little thing has a little camera, and I really like that.
Yeah.
So then my dad got me that for like, I think it was for my birthday or something like that. He got me it. I was recording everything, like everything that I could. And then this was in middle school. And this is when people were all like, he's like recording everything. Like, that's a little weird. But, middle school, you get judged everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so from there, when I went to high school is when I started to play soccer more. And I kind of started to play more on that. And then my friend Jacob, he would always play with me at at West Creek Park.
Okay.
And so he was all like, let's take some video. So then he grabbed my phone. He was holding it like this. But I didn't know. I was all like, that's kind of not like the angle that I want. So I was kind of like directing him in a way. I'm all like, you want to get it from right here to right here.
So you can already see like how
like how I wanted to be like a director.
Yeah.
And then he was all like, have you taken like a class on like video and stuff and like editing? I'm like, no, I just let it flow.
Yeah.
Like that. So that's when I would start making soccer videos, and like whenever the beat would drop of like dubstep music, that's when like I would make contact with the ball and it would go in the goal and stuff like that. Just like small little videos here and there.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, and then came all the way senior year. Junior year. My friend Isaiah and Isaiah Lopez and Tyler Slammin, they would always make these funny, cheesy videos with.
What a great last name, Slammin'. Are you kidding
me? They would always make these funny videos in like art class and shit like that. And then, or sometimes they would just like go around the hallway and just like push people down or like throw trash cans. And it was
prank
just,
videos before they were cool.
Like bass videos. And I was like, dude, this is cool. And so I talked to him about it.
This is cool. Pushing people down and
no, not that. I'm talking about like the editing part, because they would have text with it and it would go with the music.
Yeah.
And it would just look cool. So I'm like, I want to do it. Let me try it out. So then I got my phone and I started like recording stuff and like, you know, just like everyday vlog type deal. And the cool thing about mine was I was already focusing on the music.
Yeah.
And excuse me. And so I would listen to music like every day. Like I was like part of Drumline and everything, and like I was a percussionist, so music was really heavy on me.
Yeah.
And when I would listen to
that too. Wow.
Yeah. Dang. So when I would listen to, you know, a certain song, I would tell myself, like if I'm in like a classroom and I'm listening to, you know, like either like electric music, jazz music, guitar music, any type of genre.
Yeah. So you did music, sports, and arts in high school. Yeah. Holy crap.
And cross country.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, dude.
So so I would
what was that?
That was a bug. It was on my leg.
I heard it.
Flicked it away. No, but I would listen to music like when I'd like be taking notes or something like that, or when I'm like walking down the hallway.
Yeah. But
I would envision like a story with the music and kind of like see like a music video with it, or see like a vlog with it that would go perfect with it. So that's when I started doing that. I would make vlogs and make sure the music was right with it, make sure it would go with every beat of the song. And
that's one of the things I explicitly remember about your videos, was the music work was crazy.
Yeah, I'm very picky with my music, and I go frame by frame to make sure it's like on point.
Yeah.
Either with like a snare hit, a bass hit.
Frame.
So, so it's really crazy. And and then that's when I joined the audio video production class with Miss Castillo.
Yeah,
super cool teacher. She was just really mellow.
She was my digital media teacher.
Like, she tells us, oh, go film this and go film that.
Yeah.
But I would take it upon myself, and I would add, you know, a little bit of my flavor, and I would add, you know, extra text with it, and make it go with it. And in my audio video class, I didn't want to learn Premiere, so I was just editing on my phone. I would record and I would edit on my phone. I wouldn't use iMovie. I used an app called QCut.
Okay.
So Isaiah and Tyler, they introduced me to that, and then I would, you know, make videos like that. So I could add animations to it. I would add text to it, make the music go with it. And Miss Castillo was good at teaching and stuff like that. But I pretty much took it upon myself, and I was like, no, I don't want to learn Premiere Pro right now. I just want to learn off my phone because I'm really good at it right now, which was... I learned Premiere Pro in like a year.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning it now. Like I'm still learning little things here and there.
Yeah.
But I took a class. Everybody was like amazed at my videos, and they're like, "Oh, it's because like you use your phone and you don't use Premiere Pro and stuff like that." I'm like, "No, I just have like a creative eye for this, and I really like doing it and stuff like that."
Yeah.
And that's when I keep on saying Isaiah a lot, because he's like a real huge inspiration on why I keep on making videos and stuff like that. Is because he was one of the guys who told me, you know, your videos are really good right now, and just I want to see what you will look like in 5 years from now, and you just got to keep pushing with this. And
Isaiah Lopez, right?
Yeah, Isaiah Lopez. And so he was all like, yeah, your videos are really good, and focus on your music and focus on cinematography and stuff like that. So that's when I came to Vista, and then I chose AV production.
Is it this guy?
That guy, yeah.
Okay, yeah. For some reason it says Anthony Kilroy.
That's pretty much like his username on everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be on my podcast. He's going to be the next guest.
He's a real cool dude.
So his name's not really Anthony?
I think it's his middle name.
Oh. We'll find out when he's on my podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's apparently he did something with the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
he partook in the production side, but it was for the halftime show with Eminem and Snoop Dogg.
Yep. He met Snoop Dogg?
I don't know if you met him. Oh. It's a question you got to ask him, man.
Yeah. So look forward to that. You got something to look forward to.
Yeah. From high school, I took it upon myself to just run with it.
Yeah.
And I really love doing it. My parents were really passionate about it. And so were my brothers and my sisters. Everybody in my family were all like, dude, you make really cool videos. And then that's when I started learning transitions and stuff like that.
Are you the only one in your family that's into the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My mom worked at a portrait studio in the mall back in the day when they had those. Remember those?
Yeah.
Where they would have like the backdrop and you'd sit the whole family there. Yeah. Yeah, my mom used to work at one of those, and she's really good at photography too, so that's where I get that from.
That's cool.
I guess. Which is why she forced me into your book, because she's like, I think you'll like this, because I was the same way. I was like,
all right. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Yeah, so basically, like, if you guys, I don't know if my page will be linked or anything, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm going to link all of your stuff in the description.
Cool. So if you go onto my page, you'll see most of my stuff is heavily based off of the music and stuff like that. Like, it goes with the beat and everything. And I started shooting, weddings and stuff like that. And then, like, I shot, my sister's prom video and stuff like that. And it was like, those are more... You okay?
Whoopsies, yeah. Whacked myself in the chin there.
Those are more towards cinematography and more slow and not really like the dubstep crazy, like the stuff flashing everywhere. Yeah, stuff like that. No, this was more towards, like I wanted to tell a story and I wanted to make people feel it and pretty much tell a story, but with the music also. Yeah. And so I would put all those elements together. Put a story down. Don't put any text. Do not put text. I hate videos that say, what's going on with text. I don't like that at all. So I don't put text. I add a little bit of transitions, not really. And then, like I said, you got to tell a story. So even like before you start filming, you got to know what the story is. So you got to have, a beginning, a middle, and an end with it.
Do you write out storyboards?
No, I don't.
No.
I just go off my head.
Me either.
And so what was I saying? Yeah, so I made... Let this plane go by.
Airplane. I don't think they'll be able to hear it anyways. Bye, airplane.
So I made my sister's prom video, which was like a COVID video. It's when like we had COVID and it just started, so she couldn't go to prom. So, we brought prom to her.
I remember that. And a second plane. This is Military City, USA, so we're surrounded by Air Force bases. So
we hear a podcast going on. We gotta crash right now. Go! No.
I remember that video of bringing the prom to her. I remember that. Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
So yeah, so like I wanted to start it off as a little montage of us putting it together,
Yeah.
and then I wanted the music to start off fast and then get slow. So that's why I picked that certain song,
Yeah.
and it was like a montage of like, you know, boom, 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 vacuuming.
How long does it
flowers.
take you to pick a song?
Not that long.
Not that
It's
long.
pretty much like a recent song that I've been listening to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, so with that video, I started off fast and then I got slow when the music starts to get slow, and that's when I can change the mood with it because the music is also changing the mood.
Yeah.
And started off fast and then it goes to the more cinematography part, which is, you know, you want to focus on your subject and, you know, get the camera and like slowly pan it around and show off those beautiful, like her hair was done, makeup was done, so you want to get those highlights of it.
Yeah.
And you want to just make it look beautiful and have your camera ready to shoot slow motion, because if you don't, it'll look choppy, which is pretty much you got to set your frames and everything like that.
Yeah. So do you think that going straight into a camera like you did, like a professional camera, was better for you than starting in the startup series like I did and moving up?
Because I did a lot of research before I bought my first camera. I
Okay.
did probably maybe like 2 to 3 months of research.
Okay.
And I saw a lot of YouTube videos shooting it, and I saw a lot of people shooting with that certain camera and stuff like that. So I was like, this is the camera I want.
Yeah. So did you do research into the beginner cameras too?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
The Rebel was actually one of the first ones that I wanted to get.
Yeah.
And then I just saw somebody shoot with the Sony, which is like the little orange ring around it. So I looked at the camera with the orange ring, and it was Sony, and then like the autofocus on it's like it's amazing, and then like
low light's really good.
Low light's really good, and then just if you have your camera just focused on somebody, then it focuses on them.
Yeah.
And it blurs out the whole background. That's what I fell in love with. I was like, dude,
the bokeh.
I need this camera. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the bokeh.
So,
the bokeh is the
then,
lights. That's why do I call it bokeh? It's aperture. The aperture.
Mm-hmm. The aperture of it.
Yeah. Janitor. I don't think they can hear that.
No, it doesn't pick that up.
I doubt it. It'll probably really look soft in the background.
It's a janitor just
his car's all squeaking.
Yeah. No, so then so then I focused more on cinematography, because after that video, I think like family members of mine were just telling me, they're like, this is beautiful, this is amazing. Like it made like at least 5 people in the comments were all like, this is beautiful, and it made me cry. So I was all like, dude, that's crazy that I'm capable of making people cry by just telling a story and actually putting some emotion into it and having a feel for it.
It's so crazy, like sometimes after you look at your work, like you're like, I really did that. Like, dang.
Like I go back.
Like that was me.
I go back on some videos and like I did that. Like that's not cool. Like I don't like that at all. Like I don't know what I was thinking about doing that. But that was like probably like a year in of actually focusing on videography.
Yeah.
And then now I look back freaking like 8 years later, and I look back at something that I made here at Vista. I'm like, dude, I made that when I was like 20, 21. Now I'm 24. Yeah. I'm like, I was capable of doing that. And then like, so I look at it as like progress. I'm like, okay, I can make that. And then I look at my work now. It has just evolved so much.
Yeah, exponentially better. Yeah. I'm the same way. Like I'll look back at like the way I used to edit on my photos and stuff, and I'm like, man, that's a little rough. I can't believe people paid for that. And then like now I'm like, dang, like I've really improved. Like I don't know if that's cocky or not, but like,
no, it's not cocky at all. You're seeing improvement.
Yeah. And not just me, like all of us, like me and you and Antonio, and like we've all improved. Even like Luke with his music, my brother, he's improved.
Oh, he's like blowing up, man.
Dude, he's been going
crazy.
It's
crazy.
He's been going crazy, dude.
So then, back on my story.
You should do a music video for him, by the way.
I should, once I get a new camera. I'm gonna get the FX3, but that's gonna be big. I already showed you that camera.
Yeah.
But here you know it's about 4K. So
When you get the new one, we can throw the old one in the lake right
no,
here.
I'm still gonna use that one still for like still shots at,
Yeah.
at weddings. Like I just have it on standby. But,
Or backup, yeah.
yeah. Because I have so many accessories with that camera and so many lenses. So then I got to Texas State with filming, and I joined electronic media, which is pretty much like news broadcasting and still shots and stuff like that. And it didn't take long till I realized I don't want to work at a newscast station. Like this is boring. I don't like doing it. If I'm selected to go film something and I have to get just still shots of people walking by, and just cars driving by, and like just one anchor, and then I got to go back and edit it. I don't want to do that. It's not for me. Like, it's kind of boring, but I had to stick with it because I was already like a year in. So I'm like, well, I can't switch majors now. So I got my degree in electronic media and multimedia production, but during that time, I joined a church, and I also joined a Christian group. And the Christian, it was Chi Alpha. And then I joined a church called Promised Land. It's all the way back in San Marcos.
Oh, that's a nice name. I like that name.
So it was one day we were setting up for small groups and stuff like that at church, and then my friend Samantha, she was all like, "Go up to him, like go tell him that you want to do this and you want to help out with the audio video." I was like, "Nah, I don't really want to. Like, I think he already has it covered." She physically pushed me towards him, and she was all like, "Dude, go up to him." So I was like, okay. So then I remember me stepping into the booth, just like being fascinated at all the buttons, seeing, you know, like all the camera work and stuff like that. And I was all like, "Hey man, like I'm going to school for videography and stuff like that." He's all like, "Cool, hop on. Here's your headset. You're gonna be director for tonight." I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. Like I wasn't scared. I was like, let's do it. And so he's all like, yeah, just tell camera 1 what you want, tell camera 2 what you want, and then here's your little joy box. You can switch from camera 1 through camera 5, and basically I control camera 4 and 5, and then I tell camera 1, 2, and 3 what I want. So I'm like, camera 1, can you zoom in on the guitarist? Or camera 2, can you give me a pan from left to right? And then I just did it off the top of my head on what looks good and stuff like that. And I was like I was like, okay, camera 1, switching to camera 4, click it would switch to camera 4. I was like, okay, hold that, switching to camera 3, and stuff like that. And then they're like, all right, good job, guys. And then once I got done with like my first showing there, he was just like super impressed. Albert, his name's Albert. He was just like super impressed. He's all like, dude, how long have you been like directing? I'm like, this is my first time. He's all like, dude, you know your camera work. I'm like, I guess so, yeah. I'm just like a natural at it. He's like, yes, you are. He's all like, how would you like to join the production crew? I was like, let's do it. Yeah, so like the first day that he was just really impressed. And then I joined the crew, and that's when he hired me to go shoot my first wedding. And that was for, I think his name's like Crispy, and
Crispy.
He's like a real like huge on Instagram and stuff like that.
Dude, you know people with the coolest names, Slammin', Crispy.
Dude, this guy pretty much he wanted a wedding, and I was like, yeah, like I hope. So then I went to the wedding, and then I shot with my camera. He shot with his. I had a gimbal already, so I knew how that worked and stuff like that. And we were at the wedding, and I was just getting shots of everything, and like he just kept on telling me, he's like, dude, you're keeping up, and I know it's your first wedding, but you know your shots, and you know how to make it look elegant, and you know how to do stuff like that. He's like, keep doing this, and you'll go big. And and then so then after that we left, and then graduated college, and here I am. I'm pretty much a freelance videographer, which is I make cinematography videos for weddings. I make music videos, and I kind of go into advertisement as well. As well.
Dang, what a journey. That's crazy. So Yeah, so if she hadn't forced you to go up to them in church that one day, you might not be far along as you were.
That's what I'm saying. So I gave I've given her so many blessings. Like I'm like, just thank you so much, and like you've helped me out. So she's a really good friend of mine, really good friend of mine,
Really?
and pretty much like a sister to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
we would always hang out because like she was part of Chi Alpha too. So we would, we'd hang out. We would go over to each other's apartments and we'd, make breakfast or we'd go get lunch and we'd hang out with everybody else and stuff like that. And she was just super cool cool to hang out with.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool. So we both got our start like at church.
And I'm still, I'm still really religious and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't really post about it, not because I don't want to, just because I just want to post about, videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I might post about, church stuff. It's just not really my forte to post.
You post it on your story sometimes.
Yeah,
I'll see that.
My story, but maybe I'll post about it. Maybe in the future.
Oof. So yeah, you remember your first wedding? Or you just told me about it, kind of?
First wedding, and then I shot another wedding, I think a year later for my cousin. He really liked that video. A lot of people like that video. Yeah. Now I shot another wedding for my other cousin, and he pretty much hired a video crew for like the first half, which is, like the beautiful part, and going down the aisle and stuff like that. And he's like, well, he's only charging him for the first half. He's like, you want to shoot the second half?
Oh, you told me. I remember this.
Yeah, and so like I shot the second half, which is like the party.
Yeah.
And I made it, hype, made it crazy, made everybody dancing.
Yeah.
And somehow I still told the story by doing that as well. And it went good with the music and everything like that, and people loved it. They're
really?
Like, dude, this is like crazy. Like, I added slow shots and stuff like that. Like, like if. Say this water bottle, for instance, if I want to record it, I'm going to take this as, my camera.
Yeah.
And I'll do this. Slowly pan around like that. And that's how you get your dramatic shots, just like that. Yeah. You just want to go with it just like that. Or even reveal it.
Yeah.
You just want to reveal it, like, slowly. And, like, if you want to do a picture like this, start from, like... I'm giving you a fucking lesson right now, man. If you want to do just like a picture like this, you can like get your camera out, start from like right there, start from the corner, and slowly drag out while also panning down so you can show off. Once you get to right here, it's when you show off the front.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty good. My first wedding.
As a videographer or for
I haven't done a wedding as a videographer yet. I've only done photo.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's hard work, but I love doing it.
My first wedding must have been like 4 years ago now, I think.
How'd you get hired for it? Somebody just reach out to you because they saw your work on Instagram?
Yeah, they went to the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're a church friend.
Yeah. And they just wanted to bless me with my first wedding, which was really great, and I owe them a lot.
They gave you a shot, yeah.
Yeah. And dude, I edited the photos on like some super like crappy third-party edit app that was like free, and it was like just so bad.
But that's the thing, people don't really know what you edit on. They just care about what you produce, and what you shoot it on, and they just care about the final result. Because I was making videos off my phone for like 3 years, and people were still like, dude, your videos are amazing. Like what do you edit on? I don't want to tell them I edit on my phone and I shoot on my phone. They're gonna be like, what? Like, how do you edit on your phone?
Yeah.
And I just tell them like, oh, like I shoot with this and then I edit on like Premiere Pro, which I'm really. It's gonna sound bad, but I lied to them. And and no, man, they just care about what you can do with it.
Yeah.
The editing part is pretty much the key of everything.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to edit a video properly or like how to edit a photo properly, it's gonna be garbage. like you're gonna be like,
you heard it here,
if,
folks.
If you give somebody a expensive camera like a Red, and or like even like a Sony, they're not gonna know what to do with it. Yeah, they're not gonna know what to do with it.
Yeah,
and then they might know what to do with it, but once you get to the editing process and you've never like really edited. You've just like just made cuts and
Yeah.
drag it, add music to it, but doesn't really go with it. Pretty much like mediocre work.
Yeah.
Which we've all been there. Like my soccer videos were extremely mediocre. They're garbage.
The best that you could do at the time.
Best I could do, yeah. And yeah. So if you give somebody like a good camera, then
yeah,
they don't know the software, then they're pretty much.
Yeah, that's something I found. Like, just because I should have a good camera, a lot of people like just like the photos, even though like as a photographer with my eye, like I know like that's not in the middle, like that's not centered, or that's not like sometimes like you can tell it's out of, like I can tell, or you could tell, or Antonio could tell, like camera people could tell it's out of focus, but a normal eye can't really, because it's not really like super apparent until you like zoom all the way in, and
you're like, oh, that's blurry, but then like from far away it was like, oh no, it's
and nobody cares to like zoom all the way in and like nitpick a photo, like it's just, and I'm like, ooh, but then they're like, oh my gosh, these are so good, like I can't believe you did this, like this is, I'm like,
I just edited the brightness and I put like the exposure down a little bit, and then like I made the whites brighter and the blacks darker, and
do you ever like turn the exposure up a little bit because it's too dark, a little too dark, or turn it down a little bit and the skin color just like changes? You're like, oh gosh,
or like the skin tone just looks like you can tell like the patterns of it, and then like I look back at the video, even though I already like made it and I already put it out there. It's been out there for like 2 days, and I look back at it, I see one little smidge or like one thing that's like either like off beat, or like, why did I even put that shot in there? I still complain about that like to this day, because like people are all like, oh, this video is really good, but then I'm all like, no, it has that one little part that I don't really like, but I'm like, yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Dude, all the time. I'll look back on my photos on the Instagram and I'm like if I just moved the camera just like a little bit that way, or like
but like, oh, I forgot to clean like the sensor, and or like there's like a little dust particle, but nobody can see it.
Or if I just had told her to like brush her hair like this way a little bit so there's not like one hair hanging down or something. I'm like, good gosh, man. Or like so one of the worst pet peeves for me is when I'm going to do a couple's photo shoot and they come in mismatched outfits. Like one person's wearing like red and one person's wearing like blue and green polka dots, and I'm like, bro, what's going on here? What are we doing?
What do you guys
come on, like how, like I can only do so much. Like, come on. It's like come on, like this, like dude, this is what am I supposed to do here? Like, I guess I'm just gonna shoot these photos and they're gonna look like they look, but like, come on, like did you not like research anything, or like do you not know like you should match for a photo shoot, at least in some kind of way, like at least like one black and one white or something, like I just don't get it. I don't get how people can show up mismatched like that. It's kind of ridiculous. They just don't
understand sometimes, man.
Dude.
A question I want to ask you, I feel like I'm pretty much like just...
No, go ahead.
Have you ever felt like a void, or like ever felt like apart from... I'm sorry, let me start over. Have you ever felt pretty much like something's telling you that you can't do this, and like your work's trash, and like you just gotta just stop for a little bit, and like you kind of don't want to do this anymore for like photography, but for just like a little smidge moment?
Yeah, I've never felt it tell me like your work's trash, like not that intense, but I've just felt like, like for like there was like a year and a half that I didn't do anything because I was just
because you just felt discouraged, or what?
Not discouraged, like I just felt like I didn't have like a drive for it, like a passion for it, like a ridiculous passion for it anymore. Just like
kind of felt more of like a chore than it felt like like you're really passionate about it. So so your passion was kind of just floating away, like drifting away from you a little bit. So I do get that sometimes with videos and stuff like that, and like I won't edit somebody's video for like a while because I'm just I'm drained.
Yeah.
I get drained sometimes a
Yeah,
lot.
you can get drained.
I do get drained
Sure.
because like the job that I'm doing right now, I'm constantly editing videos. Like I'm making 8 videos a day for that company.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Sometimes I'll think like whenever I'm just like driving by myself or whatever, like I'm thinking your mind just goes and stuff, and I'm like, is this really what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I really, really want to just hold a camera and push the buttons and type away on my computer for the rest of my life? Like I only get one life.
Yeah, you can see it like that, or you can see it as you can see like the positive in it too as well. When you're telling yourself that, like, am I really just pushing a button?
Yeah.
But then you can also think about, to like kind of like help your stride, is you can tell yourself clients are actually really happy at your work, and you got to continue doing it. Once you continue doing it, then that's when the ball will start flowing again. And you'll get more clients to come to you. It's not just going to happen overnight. That's what I got to tell myself. Like if I don't make content, nobody's going to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to see, the videos that I'm making anymore, and they're all like, what's going on? Like why isn't he making videos? So that's what I tell myself, like, every day. I'm like, I gotta just continue to work at it, and I gotta not really tell myself, that I'm working too hard. No, this is what I signed up for.
Yeah.
But you gotta also tell yourself this is what you love doing. So
yeah. Well, every time I ask myself those questions, the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like I want some kind of media work with the camera, whether it's photography, podcast, both. Right now, both. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. The answer is always yes. At the end of it,
man.
Yeah. So, more recently, I've been leaning more towards a podcast.
Okay.
Just because, like, I already know how to do photography. Like, I know everything. I don't know. I don't know everything. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but
I know, like I know photography. Like, I know how to do photos. I know all the basics. I know, like, I have a good camera. I know all that. But with podcasts, I'm still learning. Okay. And I'm still, like, figuring it out and stuff like that. So, but I don't know. I'm down for. It's definitely what I want to do. I'm down for it. If I can make money doing this for the rest. If I can make money doing this for the rest of my life, then I would do it. Or even if I didn't, I still would. I'd rather do this and have a part-time job than have for the rest of my life than have a full-time job that I don't like.
Yeah.
So
that's why I keep, I don't really ask people if they want a video. People actually come towards me. Like me asking people, hey, like, do you want me to make a video for you? Or do you want me to do this or that? I don't really go out of my way to do that. I let people actually, like, come to me and stuff like that for, like, a video idea. I'm all like, heck yeah, let's do it. Yeah. And I pretty much, if I'm not making a video for a client, or if I'm not making a video for, for my freelance personal company, which is Compean Captures. Yeah. Or if I'm not making a video for my full-time job, which is Market Scale, which they're located at Dallas, but I'm working remotely, so I'm working at home. Then I'm working on, just like a vlog or something. Like I gotta be working on something video related. Yeah. Because if I don't, then I feel like trash all day.
Yeah. I like the aspect of like creating like one day, like I think it'd be cool to create my own camera line. Mm-hmm. Like they have Canon, Sony, Nikon, whatever the heck. But I think it'd be really cool to have my own camera company, like make my own new camera. I think that'd be crazy.
I never actually thought of that.
That'd be wicked expensive, but I think that'd be super dope.
You gotta actually know your camera.
Yeah. And
every single fundamental of it.
Yeah. And if it takes off, like if it's a good camera and people buy it, like you'll get the money back instantly. Like people pay thousands for cameras. Like the money will be back.
Like me.
Yeah. Like you. I'm also a big whiskey drinker. I love whiskey. Okay. I don't know if you see my whiskey collection at my house.
I've seen the TikToks.
Yeah. You've seen the thing in the background. Big old whiskey collection. Love bourbon. One day I'd like to make my own bourbon. I think that'd be dope, and just drink it on the podcast. I think that'd be rad. My own bourbon, that'd be wicked. I told the guy that was over here. There's a guy over here that was talking about. He was asking me about our setup and wanted to know about cameras and stuff like that because he's here for camera work.
Mm-hmm.
But I was telling him that I used to do I dabbled in doing apparel. Remember when I would do that? Mm-hmm. I want to make a apparel company for like cameramen, for photographers, videographers, like cool stuff, like my just like real life.
Yeah, I thought it was just for branding, and whenever you would go at the shoots, that you would have that on. Is that not what it was for?
It started like that at first. Yeah. Like my idea was, like, it would be cool if we all just had something when we went to the wedding that we all just, like, everybody knew we were the photographers and we looked the part. But then as I kept doing it, I was like, man, like, it would just be cool if this was just like aimed at all camera workers, like videographers, photographers, and whatever. Like, just a company I think that'd be dope. Like, just cool, like puns off of photography, or just photography terms and stuff like that. Golden hour. Like, I have this really cool idea for golden hour T-shirt with like the sun, and like it's gold and black, and it's super dope. Like, just all kinds of cool stuff. So that it's like a mini series of shirts, like the hours. So like golden hour and blue hour.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's pretty cool. I just think that'd be dope, like a clothing company for photographers and videographers. Like, they have sports clothes you can buy for people that are into sports, or music ones even. Like, what I'm saying. But there's barely any like camera work ones. So I think that'd be super dope.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be super cool. And like, even you start selling the idea to places like the Camera Exchange or Best Buy or whatever, they could sell them there. I just think that'd be super cool.
Yeah. And you can even start off on Instagram and see how that would work out.
Yeah.
So you're naming all of these topics and ideas that you think will be pretty cool, but what's really pretty much, stopping you from actually like pursuing in these things?
Right now, the biggest thing is money. Like, I can't afford to just buy like a bunch of different like practice shirts. Not practice, but like sample shirts,
Yeah.
And I don't want to get shirts that are just like...
But I mean, you can still pretty much like make designs for shirts, not have like the physical shirts. Just have like them like on a website ready to go, saying that they're coming soon. You know what I mean?
I have hundreds of designs on my phone already. I just haven't gotten, to release them and stuff like that. And then also the podcast is what I really want to do. That's my like thing. And I thought about that, like, what stopped me? With the podcast, for me, for a long time, it was not having a location, like something like a set that I liked. For some reason, I felt like I need to have a set. But now that I don't have a set, like, I'm just going crazy. Like, I'm going crazy on these podcasts. I'm banking them up and I'm editing and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't even care when I'm filming it that much. So podcast is good right now. And photography, COVID really took a hard hit on it.
Yeah, it took a hard hit on mine too.
People weren't going outside, and people aren't going to go much less go outside
Straight
to take
up
pictures.
Lockdown, man.
Yeah. See, I've had photo shoots and all kinds of stuff. Remember, we did this one. This is you, bro.
Look
Look at
at that.
that. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, I look so young.
Look at that young buck.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that young buck.
No, look at my jawline. Dude, you can totally see everything. Dude, I look so different with a beard, man.
Yeah. But those shirts were fire, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. What happened to them?
I gave them away. Like, to people that won contests on my YouTube channel and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But I still kept the designs and stuff so that I can redo it. Look how young I looked, bro. What in the world?
Oh my gosh. What was that, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah. At least,
Crazy.
let's see.
Yeah, put those on podcast so they can see it.
Oh yeah, I'll put them up on the screen.
Okay, cool.
So they can see these. Yeah, these are crazy old pictures. Bro, yeah, look at that.
I remember that used to be like my profile pic for like the longest time, bro.
Did it really?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Because that's like my favorite color, like teal.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a cool shirt. Focus with that. Even if I didn't bring back all of those, this one is super dope because people like to have girls on their shirts for some reason. I don't know why. Like, even with, like, sports shirts or beer shirts or whatever, like, there's always a girl. So that'd be dope. So I think that'd be cool. I think that one would sell well. I don't know. I have all kinds of them. And then I had a bunch of other ones in that same series that I never dropped.
Yeah.
All kinds of them.
That's crazy.
This one was really cool. Sharpshooter with the
I still have your shirt. The one you gave me a long time ago.
Really?
The shoot, edit,
repeat.
Yeah. Shoot, edit, sleep, repeat.
Yeah. I think, do I have the yep, I have that picture too.
I still have that, yeah. I
Shoot,
still have
edit,
that
upload,
shirt.
repeat.
It's a dope shirt, and I still wear it.
You still wear it?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Hey, baby. I don't know what I was doing.
Dude, I think these would do really well. This and the podcast are really up there for me in terms of things I want to do.
Get your shirts today. They're going to be linked. I'm just fine.
See, that's my golden hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is one of my favorite ones. One Shot Wonder. Because people used to tell me sometimes people be like taking pictures like over and over and over and over the same thing because like they want to get it right.
You just bam.
I'll do it once and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Let's keep going. Move.
Yeah.
Next one. And they're like, what the heck? How'd you get that in one shot? I'm like, One Shot Wonder, baby. So that's my Twitter name. That's everything. Like I just made it. That this is the updated golden hour.
Nice.
And then this is blue hour.
Have you ever looked into Fiverr and see if anybody can like make like a custom design for you?
I haven't thought about that. My mom actually has a studio in the house to make shirts and cuffs like that, but she hasn't been doing shirts at all recently, very much at all. And also, like, she doesn't have like a screen printer to where it's printed like this.
Is it like an iron-on?
It's a heat press, and it's like vinyl on there. And sometimes, like, if it goes to the dryer, it'll rip off and stuff like that. But I like this. Like,
start to peel off.
Yeah, I like the screen printed stuff on here. Like, it's part of the shirt. So that's one of the things that's been holding me back.
My friend actually makes shirts like that.
Really?
He actually went to high school with us.
Really? This one goes crazy. A hoodie with a camera in the middle. It's constantly creative.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that one goes. Oh, I made a hoodie out of this one too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With mine, because like your fonts are like bold and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like they pretty much like take over like the whole like design of the jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not really my style. My style is like have like, you know, my logo right here and then maybe just like something simple on the sleeve, something like that.
Yeah.
Like a camera or something like that. But I don't really like having, you know, huge designs on my t-shirts, so that's kind of what's really pulling me away from those shirts. But I know some people still like those, like that type of style. But
I can definitely make some more minimalist ones like that. Like I can have different lines. Like I can have a minimalist line for people like that like just like a minimal thing like that, which is like absolutely.
But some people
fun.
do like, you know, like the huge graphic.
Yeah,
man.
All kinds of crazy ones, dude. I experimented with this, just all kinds of just different things that have to do with film.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't know if I'd even wear that. Like, who would wear that, bro? Some people
something you buy off of JCPenney. It does. It's like a graphic tee you buy off of JCPenney.
Exactly, bro. This one was pretty cool. It just has all different names for a photographer that people call him: shutterbug, picture taker, content creator, sharpshooter, lensman, button pusher, cameraman,
button pusher,
viewfinder. I thought that was so rad. Yeah.
And then
so like, I don't know. I have all these ideas in my head. It's just like, I don't know, like just getting. The main thing is money. Like if I made enough money, I would spend all of it on that. Like I don't need anything for myself. There's nothing really I need. Well, I guess a car because I got in my car accident. But But other than that, I'll run my car into the ground, bro. I'll drive my 2002 as long as I can. I don't need the newest thing. I'll spend all of it on this clothing line or on this podcast or whatever.
It's just a matter of getting it started and seeing where it would go from there. And if you really do want to pursue it, like,
I mean, I could go on a website and get these printed really cheaply, or I could have my mom do it for free. But like, I want
but you also have to
not saying your stuff's not quality. Just so you know, I'm just like
It's amazing work.
I just wanted to be able to compete with like Nike and like, you know, PacSun brand, like Budweiser shirts that they have in there, or like even up like H&M, like, even though they're not the best, I love H&M, but you know, H&M or
I still shop at H&M.
Yeah, so do I.
Clothing.
You know, I wanted to compete with that quality of clothing.
Okay.
Like, I don't want people to look at it and be like, oh, he made that.
Yeah.
Like, he made that at his house. Like, I want people to look at that and be like, dang, where'd you get that shirt? That's a nice shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. And so that's what's stopping me. Like, when I put it out, I want to put it out the best. Like, I don't want to put it out like, oh, like...
Just like, bam, here's a t-shirt, buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly like that. Exactly. Because I did that before. I bought like 500 shirts. And I did that. I spent all my money and I bought 500 shirts and nobody bought them. I gave them all away for free because nobody wanted them. But I also didn't have like any followers back then. And also, like, who would buy that? Like, it was just like my first designs ever. It was just like, it just wasn't right timing.
Like I said,
everybody starts somewhere.
Like I said, you gotta start somewhere, man.
Yeah.
And once you start, you know, posting stuff and people are seeing that, oh, you have an interest on it, they'll start backing you up.
Yeah.
Similar to my videos and stuff like that. Like, I started making videos, they weren't getting likes, and I was like, what's going on? Why am I not getting likes? Like, why am I getting 150 likes on a photo of me and someone, and then 20 likes on like a video?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? And I gotta tell myself, it's what people like seeing. Like, they like seeing photos on Instagram. They don't really take the time to see videos. So I'm like, okay, that's like the forte, but I'm still gonna be making videos. Like, that's not gonna stop me. But
one of the things that I stopped doing was vlogging. Remember when I vlog?
Daily.
On my YouTube channel? Yeah. I stopped doing that because I realized, like, I was like, I don't really have a passion for that. Like, I enjoy doing it, and like, it's cool to look back on the memories and stuff, like having these memories documented, but it's like, I don't like have a passion for this. Like, I don't crave this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like as much as I crave other things. So I was like, I'm just gonna stop it.
Yeah,
dude. And like you were saying, like, things people want to see, like, it's so stupid. Like the videos that would go viral, or the videos that would get like the most views for me. Like, I did this whole video of, like, I got all these teams together of my friends and stuff, and we went out and we picked up trash and cleaned up like my neighborhood. And
I remember that.
That got decent views. Like, you got like 100 something views, and I was like, okay, like, that's pretty standard. Like, that's not like that. But I wasn't like upset. I'm like, okay, it's doing like normal, not bad. But this video I put out of me eating a whole jar of peanut butter for a challenge got freaking 1,000 views. I was like, what the heck, people?
You gotta know clickbaits, man.
What's going on here? Like, you don't want to watch me, like, help the environment? You want to watch me...
They just care about challenges.
Die eating peanut butter? Like, I'm choking on it. It's like sticking to the roof of my mouth.
I could not do that.
I'm throwing up. It's like, come on, people. But those are the videos I got the most when I did challenges that I knew I could not complete. It was like, those were the ones that blow up.
Did you do one with like a huge Rice Krispie?
Yep. I did the huge Rice Krispie treat that was like
this big?
Like bigger than this thing here.
Yeah. Like, dude, he's not gonna finish that. Did he finish it?
No, I threw up so bad. Dude, you ever throw up Rice Krispie treats?
I do not want to throw up Rice Krispie.
That is the worst thing
straight
to
up
throw
marshmallow
up.
And
it clumps together and you're like throwing up like balls. It's like, ugh.
Oh, man.
I also did a giant gummy bear. That was pretty crazy.
I've eaten that, but I ate the one that was on a stick, and I ate it when I was like walking around La Cantera.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, "Oh shoot, you ate it already?" I was like, "Yeah, I was pretty hungry." He's like, "We're gonna go eat." Okay, let's go eat. I'm still hungry.
Mine was 5 pounds.
Oh, mine was just like 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, mine was a 5-pound gummy bear.
Okay, you tried to do that in one sitting?
Yeah.
My sister had that for like the longest time, and she bit the ear off, and she put it in the
freezer.
In the freezer or in the refrigerator, and it was just sitting there. And I'd always just like pick off a little piece on it.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, I got through the entire head in one sitting. Like a pound worth.
I remember I saw that. You were like,
I was throwing up crazy.
It just, I was like, oh shit.
But that stuff is so tough. Like, I thought that it was going to be like normal gummy bear.
You gotta rip it.
Dude, it's so crazy.
It's like the Hasbro bears.
Yeah.
Those are like actually hard to bite.
Yeah, I was like, dang, this is wild. But it was, I don't know. I just realized I didn't have passion for that stuff anymore. Like it just wasn't like something that I was like, I really wanted to do. Like, I don't know. So I just stopped doing it. I was like, I want to focus on stuff that I actually really want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to juggle like 5 things that I'm like doing when I can do like 2 or 3 things that I love doing and do them well.
Yeah, I got you.
So I just switched over and
yeah, that was me. Because people still ask me, they're like, "Oh, can you take pictures of like this property and
yeah,
and like can you take pictures of me and over here and like my family and stuff like yeah, I'll go take the pictures." They're like, "How much you charge?" I don't know how much. How much do you want me to charge? Like that's the thing. Like I don't.
how much do you want me?
For weddings, I do ask for like a budget on how much
Yeah,
they have, because people are really limited with money because they gotta buy the DJ, they gotta rent
Yeah.
out the place, they gotta buy a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you tell me your budget and I'll run with it, and you just tell me what you are expecting, and I'll tell you if it's a good price or not.
yeah,
If it's really low, like if it's in like the 600s or like the 500s, I'm gonna say no. I need at least 800
yeah,
for a wedding. Like
yeah. Unless I know them,
yeah, unless I know,
or they're like
my
family.
cousin.
Yeah, yeah,
And then with photography, I can edit a photo. I can make it look nice and
yeah.
stuff like that. It's not really that hard to learn.
No.
And I would go do that, and it felt like a chore. I'm still doing it. It still feels like a chore, but it still like gets me, gas money for the week.
Yeah.
I just don't really have a passion for it, man. Like it's not
Yeah.
me. I do not like it at all.
Yeah. You don't like it at all?
No. Honestly. Like,
no.
Cause like they're like, oh, we can have these photos. I don't know, like in like a week. So I just like have like the photos like on my phone, and then like I'll like edit.
You
like,
take
2
photos with your phone?
No, like I have like
Oh.
like my camera sends it all the way to my phone.
Oh.
And then I use like Adobe Lightroom.
Yeah, yeah.
And some of like Photoshop and stuff like that, and then I send it to them like through the phone. And then they're like, thanks, and then they give me their Cash App and stuff like that.
I have a 24-hour guarantee, so I get them their photos edited within the day. Within 24 hours of the
Yeah, I don't have that drive for photos, man. like I'll take photos and I'll look at them and I'm like, yeah, these photos are good. Like I can edit,
Yeah.
like, have like the blue change to a more light blue and have like this green over here, kind of like saturated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, like that's like quote unquote the fun part, but I still see that as fuck. I still have 15 more photos to edit, like the same proper way with like the same, like it's not really like a preset. You gotta like go in there and actually make it look similar to that. So that's what I don't like.
You can make it a preset though.
Yeah.
You can copy edit settings.
I just don't like doing it, man. Feels like a chore, so that's why like they're all like, you do photography? If it's like a wedding and they're asking for photography, I'm like, no, I do not. Let me send you to Garrett where he does photography, and I'll make a video. They're like, oh, okay, like we don't really need a video. I'm like, okay, bye. Like, I do not do photography. If it's for a wedding, no, it's just not me, man. I don't like doing it, and
you don't have to.
I love videos. I love making videos. I love editing it. Editing it's really fun.
Yeah.
So I love doing it. I'll edit the crap out of a video until I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And that's like 3 days worth of editing.
Yeah. So if you could give some advice to someone starting videography, like one thing of advice, what would you give them starting camera work?
Don't be afraid to go out there and just film what you love doing. And if you say it as, oh, I can't do it like him, or oh, I can't do it like this guy, and like, no, dude, you can totally do it like him. Look up YouTube tutorials, look up how they do it.
Yeah.
Focus on how they shoot videos and pretty much shoot it like them. So find an inspiration, find a passion for it, even if you feel like it's not really a passion yet. If it's not calling you, then maybe it's not for you. But if you feel like you want to get into it, look up YouTube videos, look up tutorials, look up how to do all these things. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And one of my main inspiration for YouTubers is Casey Neistat.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you
I
can
like
totally tell my videos are similar to his, where I do cuts like him.
Yeah.
And I do pretty much like, oh, I'm over here. And then like when like the music hits, oh, I'm right here. And then,
Yeah.
like, camera change, like when like the next music hits. And that's what I really love about Casey Neistat is like the way he shoots his vlogs and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to do this, and I saw that in high school. So that's how I started. Found inspiration, ran with it, and I realized, oh shit,
yeah,
I'm pretty good at this, and I want to pursuing it, and I want to make videos like that. Like how can I make videos like that? That's what I would ask myself. How are they making these videos? Like, how are they adding these effects?
Yeah.
How are they making it look like this? How are they adding, swirls and stuff like that? And that's when I just looked up. I basically looked up how to add swirl effect, how to add, a fade in, how to add a fade out, like just like the typical stuff that you don't really know right away. Don't be afraid to look up typical things like, oh, where's the razor tool? Or hey, where's this tool? Or how do I format it like this? You just gotta learn. You just gotta practice. So that's what I'm saying. Just keep on practicing, keep on grinding, and just stick with it.
Yeah, I agree. One more question I had. I should have asked it earlier before that question, but whatever. So you went to school for camera work, and I didn't.
Hmm.
So, in your eyes, what's the value of school when you're doing something in the arts? Because for me...
Damn. Is this going to be your last question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because for me, I didn't see too much value in it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could do the same quality work with or without it.
You can. You totally can.
And especially because when I go and get gigs, I've never been asked, let me see your degree. Let me see your degree in
People
photography.
don't care about that. They just care about the product.
Let me see your portfolio.
Yeah.
They said, let me see your portfolio. Never asked for my degree.
Yeah. But then, over here at Vista, I didn't really learn anything because I didn't really learn, let me start over. Over here at Vista, I didn't really learn anything because I was just taking my basics, which was just, math and writing, and I was in like pre-cal and like algebra, and I was like, when the fuck am I gonna fucking use this when I'm sorry. I'm like, when am I gonna I don't want to curse a lot, damn it. Fuck. Oh shoot. Okay. Start over. Okay, so like I was in basics, just taking like my basic classes, like math and stuff like that, and writing. I'm like, when am I ever gonna know how many elephants Sally has so that she can get to California on an airplane and do all this? I'm like, what does this have to do with video? Right? So starting off, when you don't really have like a major picked out and you're just doing classes like that, that's probably when you're gonna say, oh, it is not for me. But then once you get into a big college like Texas State or like UTSA, and you start doing your major classes, that's when you realize, these classes are, because the class I took over there, they really helped me. They did, really? Honestly, at Texas State, yeah. They showed me how to work the camera and, how to set up lights properly and like the reflection of the lights and angles of camera work and depth and all that stuff that I never knew. And I never even thought about looking up on YouTube or stuff like that. Yeah. And just like, it's crazy how much you learn once you finally get there. And I was learning, frame rate, and I was learning, ISO and stuff like that. Yeah. Once you pick up a camera and you look up, you're going to put it on manual because, you're going to put it on automatic because you do not know how to use manual. And people are scared to do that. Yeah. And they don't even look up tutorials. When in school, they teach you all that. They teach you how to white balance. They teach you ISO, and they teach you everything. But that's once you get into like the major classes and stuff like that.
But do you think that everything that you learn there, you could easily learn on YouTube?
I wouldn't I wouldn't even think about going to YouTube to learn about that, even if I didn't go to school.
Really?
So school brought that like towards me.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But
okay.
if you want to learn about it, yeah, go ahead, look up YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, if you have no clue about it,
knowing now what you like, all the stuff that you learned, do you think you could have learned that on YouTube just as well as you did?
No, because my professors were extremely strict on me, and they were like, the grades were strict.
Yeah.
And they would tell me, they're like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong, and you're doing this wrong." When if you do it on your own, people are just gonna like it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a cool video," and you're not really getting that criticism from, you know, people with like master's degree in this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like other students that are in the similar field as you, you're not gonna get that if you don't go pretty much like to school for it and stuff like that. And you know, maybe you will, maybe on like social media you will, but social media is just it's a whole different mind game, and it's pretty much a whole bunch of internet trolls and stuff like that. And I would say I learned a lot more at Texas State than what I did online.
Yeah. And well, and the other thing at school is you meet a lot more like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Like a lot more people that had the same goal as you, like in the same class as you and stuff like that.
You meet them in class, and you discover, oh, you know, they have a passion just like I do. Let me get to know them more. And you help each other. And
and different people have different connections and
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that I think you can't replace.
No, you can't.
Definitely. Yeah, you can't replace the professors or the connections you can make, but I think that knowledge is pretty easily accessible on YouTube.
You can, yeah. Knowledge, you can learn it, but it's just criticism and knowing different
the criticism and the connections and all that.
Totally, yeah.
Irreplaceable. Cool, man. Thanks for being on the podcast.
No problem, dude.
Here you go. We're going to have you sign this before you dip out of here.
All right.
Here's, let me grab all these.
Let me get the yes, sir. Who signed this?
My friend Anthony Stokes.
Stokes? Oh, I know that guy.
Yep. He's working to bike 100 miles.
Yep. Yes, he is. He's making a documentary for it.
Yep. He just did 50 miles the other day.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Your mic's been off. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, bro.
Oh, no. Good luck with that one, bud.
Have you ever, like, went to film something and you realize your camera's off? Or something like that? Or, like, your SD card's not in there and you're like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, I've had plenty of panic attacks, man. if I'm shooting something and like, okay, like I have it on stabilizer and everything like that, and then I turn my camera on, it's like insert SD card. I was like, what the I thought I had a 64 in there, man. No, it's not in there, dude.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, that's all the way in my apartment. I gotta go back, or I can just go to
the nearest Walgreens.
Where like they just made like a Target, like close right next to campus.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, I gotta spend money. So bought a new SD card.
But you would spend in gas anyways going back to your apartment. Yeah. So.
But over at Texas State, I did not really like have to like use gas.
Yeah.
Because I would just take the bus and then I would ride on my penny board.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
Dang. Wow, this has been a good podcast. Been pretty long, too, actually. I think it's been like...
It's been 2 hours, man.
Has it been 2 hours? Like an hour 45 or something, right?
Almost.
I'm trying to see the time down there. That's why I look all weird, but I can't see it.
Sorry.
It's been an hour and 35 minutes.
Nice.
Well, 32, but by the time we finish, it'll be 35.
Are you going to, like, chop it down to, like...
No, I'm going to leave it pretty raw.
50 minutes.
I'll cut out some of the beginning when I was walking around and setting whatever. But it'll probably end up being about an hour and 33 minutes or something. An hour and 30 minutes. But, yeah, so if you need a video done for your wedding or your business or whatever, click the links in the description and Josie can hook you up. And if you want to see his previous work, his YouTube channel will be linked in the description too. You can go check all that out. And
see you guys later.
yeah, stay in school.
Stay in school. We just had a whole conversation about if we should be in school or not. What do you think? All right, bye, guys.
Have a good one.